A single tonne of carbon dioxide, surely that's just a tiny, insignificant amount. Well, yes, it is, compared to the global total running into the billions per year. But it's also quite a large amount too, so how can both those things be true? This argument about statistical insignificance of our own carbon footprints, which by the way could be applied by over 170 countries in the climate negotiations themselves, just leads to intellectual and moral bankruptcy. Why? Because if, for example, each of us who have above median global incomes were to make that argument, we'd have to write off 80% of the problem, 80% of emissions. Now, clearly that's just nonsense. In the future, our governments have signed up to the Paris Agreement, which hopes to limit global temperature rise to something like 2 degrees. If you do the maths with the climate models, it turns out that each of us has about 3/4 of a tonne of annual emissions allowance in about the mid-century, about 2050. And that's 3/4 of a tonne of carbon dioxide for absolutely everything. For all our travel, all our food, all our clothing, all our stuff, all our heating, all our coolth, all our luxuries, all our necessities. And so that return trip from London to New York, which currently emits 2.7 tonnes of carbon dioxide, well, that turns out to be 3 or 4 years worth of our annual future carbon budgets in about 20 years.